looking at videos. I mean, some of the stuff on TikTok's been absolutely cracking this week with the World Cup kicking off. And some of the interviews they've had with Scotland fans, like they interviewed a guy, he looked absolutely wild-eyed getting off a flight into Boston, and they were like, "Oh, sir, can you tell us how you found your flight across?" And he was like, "Ran out of beer 2 hours in, Ken. Oh, it was terrible." And you're like, "This is amazing! Like, this is amazing." There was an Airbnb in Boston where the guy who owned the house across the road was like, at 6:30 a.m. and they're playing bagpipes, and they were like, flags everywhere. There was a video of a policeman in Boston who was doing like keepy uppies, and everyone was cheering for him and all this. And then at the end of the game this morning, the police were actually filming the Scotland fans singing Loch Lomond, and the security guys were like jumping up and down and joining in. Like, and that's beautiful to see, because that's like a good community of football fans. Like, we've done ourselves proud. People seem to have really taken to us. They love the kilts, they love the music, they love the accents, and that, to me, that's a great advert for Scottish football. And I'm not saying everything has to be like twee and tartan and all the rest of it, but like, that's a far better example of how people can conduct themselves than, you know, a rammy in the town, basically.
Yeah. Part of that is the fact that it's people that want to be there, and part of it is the fact that it costs so much to actually do it, that you're going to have a distinct lack of BAMs going, especially with the last minute ESTA thing, where they've obviously been re-looking at people's convictions and stuff and saying, actually, no, you're not coming in. Because I found that quite interesting with all the news footage of that. And there was stuff all over the BBC about people who their status had changed and they're not approved to travel. And they're saying, nothing's changed since I applied for this, but none of them, to a person, have said, I don't have any criminal convictions. Nobody's said that. They've kept very quiet about all that.
I know, and you wonder, like, it's one of these things where a part of me was like, oh, is it the social media thing? Is that where they've been caught out? But I don't think that is part of the ESTA.
No, I think that's
when you actually get to the border, but you have to hand over your devices, obviously. But yeah, there's been a lot of people being like, oh, I just don't understand how that's suddenly been revoked. And you're like, mate, what have you done?
It's just, it's mental. But yes, I do like the whole atmosphere thing about the Scotsman over there and all that, because it is pretty good natured. But yeah, you are seeing news reports where they're interviewing people who have been drinking heavily for several hours. You know, it's just, it is pretty crazy. It's pretty good. My daughter's over there. She went over on.
No way, that's fantastic.
Yeah, she was over on Thursday with there's about 12 of them there, and they're away to they're away to Toronto to begin with.
Lovely.
So, and they're going down to New York, I think maybe tomorrow, and then they're going to Boston, and then they're going to Miami as well. Just like sort of a couple of days here and there.
Yeah.
They don't actually have tickets for any of the games, but it's
do you know what, the atmosphere?
Well, they went to a fan zone in Toronto last night to watch the game, and like they're doing other things as well, because they went to Niagara Falls yesterday during the day, did all that. So they're mixing up a bit and doing all sorts of different stuff and everything.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and they were at a baseball game as well. They went to see the Blue Jays because it coincided. They were playing at home while they were there, so that works out quite nicely as well. So yeah, they're having a great time, and I think they're just drinking quite heavily for the whole time as well.
I don't think the American, like that. I was laughing because, first of all, Americans can't drink the way that we drink. I mean, I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but it's just a fact. But I saw like not a meme, but like a tweet the other day, and it was like, given how proficient Scottish people are at basically like taking the piss and winding folk up, is it best that we've sent them to America where everybody's got a gun?
Well, there was one as well about, and I know this wasn't true at all, but during like the practice sessions and all that, there was obviously people going along and watching the games, and every time Lon Shanklin got the ball, all the fans that were there were shouting, shoot! And all the Americans were getting nervous because we were looking for somebody with a gun. And I know it's complete nonsense, but it's quite a nice wee joke.
Yeah, there was the Scottish guy as well who was at the last game they played, was it Curaçao that they played there, and he just had a sign that said Infantino is a fanny. It's like, that's brilliant. You would risk getting tossed out the country for that. You would. So good.
Oh yeah. It is kind of crazy because I've seen a couple of the games live and some of the highlights from some of them, and there are empty seats.
Yes, I've noticed that. Yes. I think the pricing has been a problem. I think the visa thing's been a problem. But I also think generally there are people, not necessarily Scotland fans, so obviously Scotland fans are just bursting to go to any tournament. But I think a lot of people are not going because of the situation in America as well, which I think is perfectly reasonable. The FIFA corruption as well, even just the nonsense thing about like you weren't allowed to bring water into stadiums, and it was going to be like $9 for a bottle of water. But if the temperature went up, they were going to consider dynamic pricing and all, like, for fucking water. Like, it's that to me, you're just like, that's disgusting. That's not about fans at all. That's just pure money grubbing.
There was talk of getting introduced in fan zones as well. They weren't allowed to bring in. And they're saying the whole reason they're saying you can't bring into stadiums is in case you throw a bottle onto the pitch. What are you going to do in a fan zone? Throw it into the toilets? What?
It reminds me of, we were on the school trip this 6th year in Rome, and we get taken to a Roma game at the Stadio Olimpico. And if you've ever been there, it's not the nicest stadium to sit in. Like, they give you newspaper outside to sit on because it's cleaner than the seats. But I had bought a bottle of water because obviously it was roasting, it was Rome, it was like a Sunday afternoon game. And they took the cap off in case I used it as a missile. So I was like, okay, I'm now stuck with this full bottle of water with no cap on. And the Empoli fans who were sitting on the other side of the plastic sort of divider from us were throwing flares at us. And I was like, wait a minute, how the fuck did they get a flare in and I get my water bottle cap taken off me?
Yeah, the cap. How far are you going to be able to throw the cap?
Because we were basically sitting in the car park. Obviously, we were like really far back in the stadium as well. Yeah. Probably hit about 3 or 4 rows in front. It'd be nowhere near the pitch.
Even if you if you brought like a roll of coins and some sellotape and it's a rattle, maybe then. But jeez, the caps.
Yeah, the cap taken off me. That was a great football experience, though. It really was. I like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, like it was a bit wild, but But I just always remember to get the water bottle cap taken off me, and then 2 seconds later, it was like going past, and you're kind of going, how did you get that in? So.
Oh dear, emotional support flare. Yeah.
Basically. I did not like Disclosure Day at all, so I think this is going to be a really interesting podcast.
Oh, all right, okay, good stuff. I'm going to see Toy Story 5 tomorrow, and it's the only film I'm going to see, so I might go and see Disclosure Day again because it's on right after it. So
let me know how Toy Story 5 is, because I'm intrigued by the premise. Okay.
Yes.
And also, I saw a trailer for a film last night called Pressure. It's a World War II film with Brendan Fraser and Hot Priest from Fleabag and Damien Lewis. And it's about the Scottish meteorologist who advised on the D-Day landings because the weather had to be a certain way. I know that sounds like a really boring premise, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, World War II dramas.
Brilliant. That sounds really good, actually, yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
I was thinking even just do we do top 3 Spielbergs, because I don't think we've done that.
We've been nowhere near Spielberg so far, yeah.
Yeah, that might be it. Gives me an excuse to talk about Schindler's List.
Yep. Great, yep.
Awesome.
and how the Nazis were robbed, yeah.